Meanwhile, in the sprawling suburbs of Corby... Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 81 to 86 of the Fanhome release of built in 1966 Batmobile. Now, in a change of heart, I've done the continuity thing where I've actually done all the build for this first. Now I'm doing the introduction. So I can tell you that this is really fiddly. It actually takes an hour and a half to build, but believe me, the video doesn't last that long. But yeah, it is fiddly. You're going to see what I'm doing. We're basically mounting the dashboard, putting the floor pan in the car, and also creating the firewall. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen. Not sure if this is available. You will have to check your territory. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so stage 81. Here is the magazine. Looking like this. And we are going to be doing, in this phase, we're going to be fitting the interior. Some more parts for the interior panel here. So we're going to be putting that in, fitting the detector scope screen into the car. Looks like we're taking an LED from the electrics there, plugging that into the dashboard as well. Still working on the dashboard area. By the look of it, we're actually going to get to mount this interior floor pan into the car. So here we go. Here's the parts for stage 81. And I'm going to be fitting the detector scope screen. So I've got the bezel for the screen, and I've got kind of like the lens, which is going to go in here. Now there is a notch in this, so I just need to make sure I put this in just like that. I don't suppose it matters what way that arrow's going, because the notches do dictate which way round you put it in here. I'm putting this screen onto the base just here, and it clips itself into place. Turn it over, holding that in with KP screws. I'm finding the PH00 screwdriver is probably best for this, but that's one there and one just here. So that looks like that. On this side here now, I'm going to be putting this reflector into place, which is just going to go on top, and I want to rotate it round so that this section here is just above this screw hole just here. That's held in with an AP screw. There you go, that's that in. And as you can see, we've got all of these holes on the outside now, and that's for all of these sections. We're going to be creating buttons, which means I do need my sprue cutters. Let's cut all of these off. And I'm going to put all these buttons in. So what I'll do is I'll put them all in, show you where they go. So the smaller silver ones are going on the outside here. And I am using my hammer just to bang these in. Then I've got 3 black ones going into the side here. There we go, that's the buttons in. That was quite fiddly. Then I've got a plate just to put at the front there, which says selector scope. And there you go, they're all in. Now, bringing the car over here, I need lead M. So I'm just going to try and find that. And there you go, lead M. That's going to go into the reflector just at the back here. Excellent. Then this is going to be going onto the dashboard just here. So I want to feed the lead through this hole here and seat this just over the 2 holes just there. Turn it upside down, and I'm holding it in with AP screws. Got them here. I need 2 of these. Perfect. So that's into place just like that. I can put that to one side. That M cable's got an extension lead on it. I don't want to take the extension lead out. I want to make sure that everything is in here. Now we know that M's going to the dashboard, so that's going to need to go near the front. I've got some leads here which are going to be having to go to the back. I've got headlights and indicators here, which I'm guessing are going to be going out the front. And there is a reason I'm laying this out like this, is because I need to put the floor pan in now. Which I'll be honest with you, I can see straight away that I'm going to have a muck around with this afterwards. Because I can't guarantee, look, I've got a lead coming out here, but there's no other way to get to it. Let's have it coming out the back, actually. I'm trying to get it so that any lead that I need to plug something in, I can still get to. But I can see me taking this back out again afterwards. But it's going to be held in with EP screws. So So as you can see, I'm just putting them in. They go in 4 positions, 2 on this side, 2 on the other side. So there we go. That's in. I think I've got the leads out where I need to. I can still access pretty much all the leads, but we'll find that out later on. But that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 82, here's the instructions. And as you can see here, we've got more switches we're going to be putting in. We're going to be creating a few more parts here for the dashboard and getting this into place here. So that's going to be how that looks. Lots of fiddly things here. Once again, I think I'm going to start this stage by just cutting these little buttons off the sprue. And I need this plate here, putting all of these buttons into place. I slot them all in the holes except for the last hole. Again, the only way I can see to put these in easily is to actually put them in pliers, because it gives you enough grip to actually put some force into it to be able to push them in like that. So, they're all in there, and in the end I've got another switch here which is slightly different from all the rest of them. Got a red knob on it, looking like that. I'm going to be doing the same on this one here. There you go. That's the silver ones in. Just push this red stop button in. There you go. That one's done as well. Bring over the dashboard, and I'm going to be putting this one here first, just on top of this section just here. That's going to be held in with AP screws. Perfect. And then just the one on this side here is going to go just over the 2 points there. So when they're in, that's how they're looking. So I need to unplug lead K, which I've got just here. And this is going to be going inside the compass bracket just here. Like that. So now I've got 2 leads coming out of this section. Turn this over. I've got this little detail here, which is going to be going into the box just at the top there. And it goes in that way, just like that. Then I've got some trim to go around the front here, which looks like this. It's got a handle on. I want the handle to be towards the button, so it just slides over the top like that. So one on that side, and then we're going to hide this area here as well by putting the one on this side. So now that's how that's looking. And then as you can see here, brought the car back up because we're going to be putting the dashboard in place now. I'm going to make sure the wires are going around the sides here, because this is going to be sitting on top just like this here. Now I'm going to hold that in with some AP screws first. So one this side and one this side. Perfect. And then I want to plug in these light wires. So K is going to go into K, and the wire is passing just over the groove at the top there. And then M is going to go into M. And again, I'm just trunking that just through the gap just at the back there. With that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. There is just one thing that I did miss out on this. In this box here, I've got this little black button just to put into the center there. So I'm going to push that in. So that goes in there. I'll just put that back under the car again. There you go. It's easy to get to just there. But that's all there is to do in that stage. They've been some fiddly old stages so far. So stage 83 is the instructions. And now we're going to be working on the steering wheel and the steering column, putting this together like that. So it's looking like that there. Everything I need for 83 is just here. And look, this is all metal. Looking good. Okay, first thing we're going to do, on the bottom of this, I've got a detail here to put in. And it's a push to fit. So I'm just going to push this little, I'm guessing it's a switch, into this position here. I've actually got one each side to put in. But there you go. That's how that looks. Put that to one side. I'm just going to make a universal joint for the end of the steering here, which means putting this cross brace into this section just here. And I'm holding that in with SM screws each side. Simple way to do this is to get your universal joint and a cocktail stick. Put a cocktail stick through here. Put the universal joint in and link it with your cocktail stick. That's going to keep it in place. For you to load an SM screw up and attach it on this side here. And then once you're happy with that, that's going to keep that side in. So you can put an SM screw just in the other side. Perfect. So that's in just like that. And while I've got my fingers out, I suppose everyone's been wondering what this is. It looks like paint, doesn't it, on my hand? It's not. That was actually a palm frond stabbing me in the finger there. Endlessly having accidents, aren't I? But I'm going to be putting this steering rod in here now. It has got a D-shaped pattern, so it can only go in one way. That's going to go in there. Holding it from the other side with a BM screw and get that in nice and tight. Perfect. Then I've got this black bit of trim to go inside this chrome inner for the steering wheel. In case of lining that up. You know, this whole section is just fiddly. As I say, that wasn't the easiest thing to get in there. But there you go, we have got it in. On the other side of this, I've got these chrome section here, which goes in from the back. And what this does is when I put it in, it gives the effect that there's like buttons in there, I guess. Looking like that. I've then got a lens to put over the top of this. Now, when you put this in, you want the, it looks like the speed here, I guess, to be next to the buttons. Just going to try and revolve it round a touch. There you go. So it kind of looks like that. And the black section at the top has got all the words on it. Because this actually has a certain way this goes into the steering wheel here. Just going to get that lined up. There you go. It goes in that way, just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So, stage 84. Very detailed pack, this one. Looking like this. Oh, and a nice easy thing here. Looks like we've got the firewall here. So we're going to be starting to put some stuff in for the firewall. This is stage 84 here. All I'm going to do, this looks kind of easy actually, is that I've got a D-shaped pattern on this little section here. I'm going to line that up with this section just here to make one unit like that. And then I'm going to be putting this cable into this side just here. I don't think I'm going to need to glue it because this is going in quite tight, as you can see. And with that done, that was a quick stage, wasn't it? That's all there is to do in that stage. So, penultimate stage for this pack. This is stage 85. Here's the instructions. And putting these parts here together now. Looks like we're building the battery. Getting the battery up like that. So it's looking like this. So what I'm going to do is just put this inside this section here. Now, it goes this way. So you can see the pattern on the top. So these are now towards that area there. Turn it upside down, holding it in with TP screws. Now, these are flange screws. And I need one each side. I've got the terminals here to put on top of the battery. Again, each one does have a D-shaped plug in it, so it can only go in one way. It's coming along. Then I've got these, remember old batteries used to have to top these up, do you remember? Yellow plugs to go in each of the holes at the back. There you go, and that's in. Should look like that. Going to mount this now to the firewall. So I want it this way round, and this is just going to be going into the two holes here, like that. Held in from the other side, once again with those flange TP screws. There you go, that's both of those in. I'm going to be building the starter motor now, so I need the bracket here and what we just created in the last stage. What I want to do, take the D-shaped hole here and just push this into this bracket there. So that's sitting in like that. Just going to create the little starter motor now by putting the cap just on the end here. And then I've got another lead just going into this point at the top. This is more like the solenoid really. And this is just going to be pushed into the holes at the back here. So now that's how that's looking. Bring over what we've just created. And this is going to be going into the two holes just here. And once again, these flange TP screws to hold this into place. And then all I want to do is take the lead that we had from the part that we put in right at the start. I'm just going to be plugging this into this terminal of the battery. Just like that. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. So the last stage of this pack, and it was a massive pack, stage 86, here's the instructions. And as you can see, we've now got a little bit more leads to be making here by the look of it. Putting all this together like that, looks like we've got to cut down some of this lead here, putting this onto the firewall as well. So it's looking just like that. So here's everything I need here. Get everything out. And the first thing I'm going to create is the power steering pump. So I've got a couple of little connectors to push into here. First one looks like this, which is going to go into the side, just like that. I've got one to go into the top. Again, little D-shaped pattern, so it can only go in one way. There we go, that's in. Then I've got these two pipes to go in. The thicker one here is going to be going onto this pipe just here. And then the thinner one, which is slightly longer, is going to go onto this nipple just here. Perfect. Now this is going to go onto the firewall. This way round. Just onto the position there, held in from the other side with an AP screw. I've got two boxes here. These are radiators, which are going to be going onto each section here. Now I need to make sure these are the right way round, so the tabs should be at the top, just like that. Again, AP screws to hold both of these in. Perfect. And then off of these radiators, I'm going to need to cut some pipes. So we've got a big reel of piping here. They need to be different lengths. So I need one that's 95 mils. That one's going to go here. One that's 75 mils. That's going next to it. One that's 100 mils. That's going to go on the right hand side radiator, which should leave me with 70 mils just to put into the last position here. And with all of that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go, that's 6 stages done. And we've done quite a lot. I mean, you know, just mounting things into the car, which is behind me there, creating this bulkhead. It was a very fiddly pack, very fiddly pack. In fact, the recording time for this was 1.5 hours. So I don't know what that edits down to, but very much enjoying this. I hope you are too. If you are, please remember to give this video a like. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.